Cedric Maxwell podcast is powered by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network.
The Cedric Maxwell podcast. He is Cedric Maxwell. I am Josue Pavon, and we told you we had surprises, right, Max? We told them we got some surprise guests that they're not gonna believe we pulled off, and this is we didn't miss this time. This is one of them, man. Legendary journalist, ESPN's host of First Take, also host of the Stephen A. Smith show on YouTube, which I personally enjoy myself, man. He's Stephen A. Smith. Welcome to the Cedric Maxwell podcast, Stephen A. We appreciate
What's going on, man? How you doing, man? You okay, my man? I mean, it's it's hazardous to your health to be working with this brother, Cedric Maxwell. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that you're okay. I want to make sure that you're all right, man. I mean, that's a lot for a youngster to be connected to. You know what I'm saying?
Look, you know what?
It goes up and down. It goes up
rip right now. We're gonna come off the rip right now and ask you, what the hell is this stuff going on with you and Charles Barkley? Because I know y'all boys, but it just look like some stuff going on.
Oh man, that's how. Listen, I loved it, man. It's my first time I was ever on TNT, man. Shaq and the Fool, he got me real good. Barkley was getting at me and what have you. But this is how they do. They text me with this stuff on it. They're like you. I mean, it's like people see me, you and I together and stuff like that, how we always get into it. I'm like, it's nothing different than how the man treats me every time he talks to me. I mean, it's just the way it is. These are my boys. So it was good. It's a lot of fun, man. You know, my big bros getting on me the way y'all do. It's hilarious, man. It's all good.
Yeah. I happened to run up on him. He was doing this take last year in Miami, and he was going back and forth. It's like, Marcus, I got problems right now. The Celtics are winning, but look the way they're winning. And he's right in the middle of his broadcast, and I run into him, and I'm like, how about them damn Celtics? And he looked at me like, are you serious?
I can't believe you, man. I can't believe he damn sure did it right while I'm on the air. There's no decorum whatsoever. I'm like, look, y'all, it's my man Cornbread. I mean, that's what he's going to do. Just get over it. Just get over it. You know,
right. He's about that life. That's right. Well, my question to you, off the bat, man, is what does Cedric Maxwell mean to you in the sense of watching him as a player? What I mean by that is, did he piss you off, or would you cheer for him? Which one were you? Which side
I'm the kind of person I would cheer for somebody like that, because I like somebody that that's going to talk and then that's going to back it up. I grew up, and it wasn't necessarily that I was a 76ers fan, but I was a Julius Erving fan. I was a Dr. J. The Dr. J making out calls when Brett Musburger was calling the games. And so I would remember when they're playing the Celtics and Cornbread would be like, it's over. It's all, ain't coming back. Ain't coming back, Phil. I ain't worried about it. I'll be like, damn. But then he'd go out on the court with Bird and the rest of the crew, and they'd back it up. And so I'm one of those guys that I always respect that as a pundit and as a journalist and all of that. I don't care about the talking as long as you're going to back it up, as long as you're not going to be a punk and deviate from the kind of things that you said. Keep that same energy. If you're going to have that kind of energy when you're talking about somebody, when you get on the court, make sure you back it up. And he was one of those people, and he spoke up not just on behalf of himself, but his teammates. And sure enough, his teammates would respond. So you always have to give props to that, because to me, that's what champions are made of. And when we talk about today's NBA culture and a softness that comes along with it, we're not talking about physically. We're not talking about guys who aren't big, who aren't strong, who aren't fast or anything like that. We understand the game has evolved. Athletes have evolved. A lot of them are better and superior to what we saw back in the day, but something set the standard. Everything grows from something. And so for me, when you see the good old days, as I call it, old school, and cats had to have a lot of heart. You didn't just have to have skill. You had to have a lot of heart. When I think this is the first generation where it's not necessarily the player's fault, but there's been a softening mentally of things, how sensitive you are to skepticism.
You're sensitive ass. You're sensitive ass. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All of that shit. I'm like, this is some bullshit. I mean, it really drives me crazy, because I think cats like Ced and others have every right to lament the absence of intestinal fortitude and mental toughness that we see in today's game, where guys are so. Back in the day, if you sat up there and you was insulting and Ced and all of them, they know who you are. They might say something to you before the game, but they damn sure looking for you after the game when they prove you wrong. You see what I'm saying? And that's as far as it went. You got guys here that might not talk to you for years because you pointed out a fact that's indisputable, that can't be disputed. And you're just looking at them and it's like, damn, you need to grow up. But that's what has happened to today's generation of players, and that's unfortunate.
Well, isn't let me ask you this, isn't Draymond Green a kind of throwback to that time? And I have my bouts with him, but I still look at him as like one of those guys who would cross the line to win for his team. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree with that. But also, I know him personally, and because we talk a lot. And from a mental perspective, if Draymond got an issue with you, Draymond gonna tell you. He's gonna search you out. He'll find you, and he'll let you know what he thinks about what you said. And being in our position, you cannot find fault with that. Anybody that wants to talk to me based off of something that I've said, I'm all ears. I will listen. I will have a conversation with them. And damn it, if they wrong, I'll admit it. And if I said something wrong publicly, I'm going to admit it publicly. And I'm going to correct myself publicly. I'm not going to do something publicly and then all of a sudden I'm wrong and then I'm going to go hide and then privately I'll admit I'm wrong, but I'm going to hold the fort publicly. No, you got to man up. Like, yo, he got a good point. He got me there, what have you. And Draymond's one of those people that will hold you accountable. CP3 is one of those people that will hold you accountable and stuff like that. And so I appreciate that old school mentality when it comes to that. Again, athletes back in the day were sensitive. I'm not saying that wasn't the case. It's just that they didn't hold the grudge and hate you for life and never said anything to you. They literally confront you and be like, yo, here's where you got this wrong. You need to know what you're talking about. You got this wrong. This is what was the truth, et cetera, et cetera. And when you have that, when you deal with that stuff on a manhood level, then it's a lot easier to respect the fact that you recognize tradition and what comes with it instead of capitulating to the new school way of thinking where you've got to be soft mentally and you got to hold on to stuff you don't need to be holding on to and walking around with unnecessary grudges over things that are relatively small that you gave a life of its own just because of your heightened level of sensitivity.
You know what? I have to say that you're totally correct in Draymond's case because he searched me out. He found me in the playoffs. He found me. Your guy Josue was sitting there, and he came to me. I was talking to Gary Payton. He was like, "Man, I heard something that you." He told Gary Payton not to talk to me. And I said, "You got something to say to me?" And he said, "No, I ain't got." And then we went to the back, and he was like, "This is what you said. You said that somebody would knock me out. I didn't say that." He said, "You're a man of your word." I didn't say that. What I said, if you were in the league, I said you would got knocked the fuck out. Because during that time, they wouldn't allow you to walk in somebody else's huddle. But I did respect him for exactly what you said, for him coming to me and saying, hey, this is how I feel. And I really respected that. Now, let me ask you this before I let Josue go. I'm a Cowboy fan. I need to lament with you.
My condolences. My condolences. You know what I'm saying? My condolences.
He's going to be all right. He'll be all right.
You in Boston. What the hell you doing being a Cowboy? You went to UNC Charlotte. I mean, what the hell is going on?
Tell him. Facts. Tell him.
But what are you going to do? I'm going to ask you this. What are you going to do if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl?
It's not something I've entertained. I can't imagine. It's not something I've entertained, and I won't entertain it now. That's the question of a typical Cowboy fan. Let me ask him, what would he do if we win the Super Bowl? Nah. Y'all say it every year. You know we're going to win the Super Bowl next year, right? And y'all stink up the joint. I mean, please, ain't nobody trying to hear all of that. When you win, call me. You know, I'll deal with it then. But I'm not entertaining that, bro. I'm not entertaining it.
You know what?
Y'all will go down.
You know what? You made a great comment, and I just wanted to touch on this before I do let Josue go on. But you talked about yourself, and because I want to know about you in a little bit. And I remember you talking about ESPN, and when you first got there, they said you're going to be, you know, this is a big pond here, and you might be a little fish. And the quote I remember you telling the man was like, you know, no, that's not me. Your confidence went ahead and you said, nah, you turned them damn cameras on and you watch me work. And now you become a national celebrity. Did you ever think that you would take it to that level from where you were at Winston-Salem State to where you are now?
I didn't believe that. I didn't analyze it that way. What I said to the producer was, I'm not going to be a little fish in anybody's pond. I mean, that's just how I roll. And, you know, it's very few things in life that I think that I'm relatively gifted at, but being on television is one of them. And when I'm on television, I believe I'm the best in the world. I really do. I don't think that anybody can do all the things that I've done. I've been a beat writer on a high school, college, and pro level. I've been a columnist. I've been a general sports columnist. Obviously, I've been a radio host. I've been in television. I've been an insider. I've been a reporter. I've been a pundit and commentator. I'm a personality now. Plus, I'm the executive producer of First Take, for crying out loud. The list goes on and on. With my podcast, you know, I own and operate it. It's mine. It's not associated with ESPN. I own and operate it. So now I'm a business owner with my own production company. I just believe that when it comes, it's truly the way that I've had it. There's no accuracy to it. It's just a subjective opinion. But literally, when I'm on TV, it's the one time in my life when I'm in front of the camera, I believe that everyone is waiting for me. I believe that I take second place to nobody. I don't give a damn what pundit it is or whatever. And I respect everybody and all of them. You might have people that have more knowledge. You might have people that have more experience. You might have people that are better journalists. You might have people, somebody might be more exciting as a commentator. Somebody might have greater ratings or whatever. But I believe I'm the one person that has a resume that says, damn, he did it all and he can do it all. I'm the guy that they can come to and say, all right, you the pundit, but the host gets sick. Stephen A., in a drop of a nanosecond, can you move to the left and host the damn rest of the show because we need somebody to host the show. They know they can do that with me because I've done it. Oh, well, we need you to go to a game and report. They know I've done that. Oh, we need you to go on site and, you know, we need you to do X, Y, and Z. I've done it all. And so when I consider the level of versatility in the arsenal, it's like being on the basketball court said, you know what, it's somebody that could shoot, it's somebody that could rebound, it's somebody that could pass, it's somebody that could play defense. One of the reasons we call Michael Jordan the GOAT is because he could do whatever you needed him to do, whatever was necessary, because he had an arsenal that appeared to be unlimited. That's how I feel when I'm in front of the camera. I believe that I'm that dude and I'm second to nobody. I just feel that way.
It isn't summer in New England without making a trip to Fenway Park, and this year is no different thanks to Gametime. Gametime is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on Gametime app will actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and their lowest price guaranteed. Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. We cannot miss out on any Sox-Yankees matchups this year, so make sure you get your tickets, man. There's nothing like it, especially in the summertime and especially at Fenway Park. Save up to 60% buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Save even more with the exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or event. Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference because they have the lowest price guaranteed. And thanks to their Gametime ticket coverage, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code CLNS for 20% off your first purchase. That's code CLNS. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the offer code CLNS for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
Let me ask you this. Would there ever have been a time in your career, and I already know what you're going to say, but would there ever been a time in your career that you would have traded jerseys with the opposition, with another player?
Well, that's a new thing.
Yeah, no, because I couldn't trade a jersey back then. We get fined because we only had two of them. We had two home and two away, and if any of them up, you had to pay for it. Come on, Brad. I'm keeping it. We're keeping it.
Yeah, man. It's reminds me of my high school.
If you had an opportunity back then and they had extra jerseys like they do now, would you have ever traded a jersey with an opposing player?
Hell no.
Hey, listen. Hell no, but the way it is now, you can get my damn jersey off the wall and sell that for about $3-4 grand. All depends on if you got the money, baby. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, hell no, I wouldn't have traded no jersey with no other team.
I would have loved to have seen you trade jerseys with Kevin McHale. You were Kevin McHale, or trade with Larry Bird.
I wouldn't look. Listen. I ain't even want to trade jerseys with my teammates. Why would I want to trade? Shit, man. You know what it is? It's like, because of the marketing, and all of a sudden it becomes, the collectors, and everything becomes, like Michael Jordan's Converse Chuck Taylor shoes that he had on in college went for $1 million. Wow. You look at it, it's like, well, it's like, damn, ain't that trash? You go like, isn't the bottom of the things explode? What do we used to do? Throw them away. Now it's like, Kareem goggles or, were these goggles? Just like, man, you look at people be asking me, you got some old stuff that you don't want. And I'm sitting there going like, well, how much you want to pay me? Because it's like, listen, it's all about money now. I mean, your autograph, they want to make sure that you got blood on it so you can have it, so it can be authenticated. And so I got my championship jerseys up on my wall. And I even got my college jerseys up on my wall in my office. But it's like, people, well, how much you want to? It's like, damn, if I was like in desperate need of some money. But then again, I might be like Bill Russell, sell all that shit. I ain't going nowhere. Get your money, get it. Because if you want to give me $50,000 for a damn ring that costs $3 grand, $4 grand, or $5 grand, show me the money.
That's a good investment. That's right. That's right.
But even with these jerseys now, you got to look at that. They're all authenticated because now they got numbers in it, the dates and all that stuff. And you go like, do I want so-and-so jersey? Because I may make some money off this one later on in life. So you never know. Kobe stuff is hot. Everybody's looking to have a piece of history. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But no, I wouldn't trade my.
It is nowadays.
Look, I wouldn't trade my jersey if I was playing today and I had to check. Man, I don't want nobody funky ass jersey.
No, that's right.
Because hey, listen, you don't know, we had to wash our shit on the road.
Ooh, some people didn't do it.
Nah, some people.
I'm sure there was a bunch of people who did it. I can't imagine.
I'm gonna jump you real quick because I'm gonna ask Rick this. You were involved in one of the most iconic plays in Celtic history. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Just wait a minute. When you threw the ball off of Jerry Seasties, when you guys were playing in the playoffs, and you were like, "Yes, sir," and it was going the other way. Take us through what happened after that.
Yeah, what's this?
I have to. Because, man,
you were looking at me all crazy when I said you were involved in one of the most iconic plays. You're like, what? Yeah,
he was thinking he was going to be a bad player. So
I thought it was going to be a fight or some shit.
No,
no. Here, Brad, let me just say this to you. At that particular time, I, like I said, played. My defense was what I always did, and knocked it off of. I knocked it off of Bird.
I thought it was off Jerry Seasties.
No, it was Bird.
Okay.
And I was pumping my fist, but I was looking over there at the bench, and Chuck Daly was telling me to call timeout because I'm the guy that takes the ball out. And that doggone Isaiah took the ball out, and I love Zeke to death. And I'm gonna tell you, he said it. He had a brain fart, whatever. But he was, because I'm the one that's supposed to get the ball.
Now I know what play we're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there pumping my fists and looking at Chuck. Chuck was called, had the timeout high in the air, and I'm getting turned around. I'm about to tell the referee timeout. No, he took the ball out, tried to get it into Joe. They got Bird stole the ball.
Yeah.
And then DJ
got the layup. That was the hard play.
And that was game 5. And it's like, jeez, it's like, damn, we done fought these Celtics so long. And, and they were a very good team. And then finally, then we had to play game 6 to go home. But in that locker room, it was just sad that, Isaiah felt really bad because he knew I was supposed to take the ball out. But I don't bring that up to him all the time. I only bring it up to him.
We had a chance to talk to him about that play. And he said, I felt like shit when I got in that locker room. He said, everybody just kind of looked at me. And the coolest thing about it, I think, was he was talking about the 6th game that was played, I guess, in Detroit. And he said Larry Bird dapped him up before the game. So, man, it's okay. Because I think as ball players, we have a kinship. And we know when somebody f***ed up. And we know when great players do what they do. But that was so cool for Larry to do that. And, for Isaiah to feel like that. And for you guys to play the way you did in those upcoming games.
Yeah, because we had to play game 6 at home. And if we didn't win that one, we'd have lost. But, every time we go down there, I hate that damn leprechaun in the middle of the floor. I try to kick that shit. If I can get over there and just scrape his face off there.
All right, you're trying to Kyrie Irving that. Yeah, he's trying to Kyrie that.
But you don't know something? It was just the fact that we had, it was the competition we had back then. It was never, I don't like Chief. I don't like, Mikhail. I don't like Brad. It's not a dislike. It's just 48 minutes. I'm going to try to kill you because I want to beat you. And it's like, I ain't got no friendship with you for 48 minutes. Jeff Rulin is my brother. Bill Lambier, much as people don't like him, he's my brother. But if I have to play, I'm trying to kick their ass.
Yeah.
And then if we're really friends, you're going to tell me, we'll go get something to eat after the game or something like that. But I never held any ill will to any of the players that played in my presence, and the ones that played before me, because I missed the Tommy Heinsohns that talk all that shit, the Paul Silases, and they be like, I'm sitting there. I remember telling Tommy, I said, I wish I'd have played back. I'd have kicked your ass. Tommy was like, he just, how, hey, Brad, how he pulled back and them shoulders get back. It's like, damn, I'm done pissed him off. I ain't messing with that. I don't give a shit. I give all the players respect that played before me, and hopefully these guys is playing after me get the same respect.
So I'm going to guess that the Celtics, was that the favorite team you like to go up against? If so, a particular player. If not, what's a team or player, your favorite opponent?
Well, mine was the Celtics because I was from Hartford, Connecticut. And I got tired of all them in Connecticut that were Boston fans. Ooh,
Stop it. Stop it.
Man, the hometown wasn't cheering for you?
Hell no, because they booed. Listen, this is when Brad and them knew my name. Ricky, kiss your mama. He said, kiss your mama, Ricky. That daggone Doc Hurley.
Look, we got to set that up because it was such a beautiful moment. Rick Mahorn coming back to Hartford. And with Celtics,
you guys are playing in Hartford.
One of the games down in Hartford, and the mayor of
no, he wasn't the mayor. He wasn't the mayor. That was the Doc Hurley, who was like ambassador.
Yeah, well, the ambassador came out, and the ambassador just says all of a sudden, he says, Ricky, and Rick Mahorn's mom was there. All of a sudden, he said, Ricky, kiss your mama, Ricky, kiss your mama. And for the rest of the night, that's all we were saying.
Hey, look,
Mahorn, kiss your mama.
But Brad, I'm gonna tell you something. It's funny. That's what Larry Bird. I think we're in a car together. I'm posting him up, and he's laughing, and he was telling me something. He's like, "Cause you started that shit, kiss your mama," and then we playing.
You started that, Mac?
Hey,
I
listen,
didn't start that shit.
They were booing me in Hartford. I'm like, well, motherfucker, I'm from here. Soon as that shit started, I said, man, I hate Boston. And I was rooting for the Knicks all the time. I couldn't stand Boston. Still don't like Boston.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Oh, man. Rick's like, yo, I'm the best dude to come out this city. What's going on?
Here's one of the things I found out about Rick. He won't remember this. He will not remember this thing. But the first time I saw Rick Mahorn after a game, I saw him at a IHOPs out in Landover, Maryland, after the game, up there with a fine light-skinned honey. I was like, young fella. I said, you got it like that? I said, you told it like that?
Hey, listen. That's Hampton, baby. That was all Hampton, boy. That HBCU ratio was 10-1. I wasn't bullshitting.
Man, that girl had not missed a meal because her booty was woo-wee. I was like, damn, girl.
And it wasn't one of them. It wasn't one of them prefab booties either.
No, that won't.
What do they call it? IBCs or whatever the hell.
Right.
That's why
BFFs. I don't know. Shit.
Natural.
But nah,
got
but
you.
it was. You know what? Playing against, and what I miss about not playing is the camaraderie.
Yeah.
You know, right now you see the camaraderie with me and Brad.
Yes.
We can sit down and have a great time and just go, and, you know, and everybody else, it's all about respect.
Not when we played, though. Not when we played. That.
Yeah. I wanted a piece of that ass every time, and I didn't give a shit.
Do you dislike the way it is today? Hold on. Real quick.
I never got hit so hard before in my life.
And I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
I want to see you black now, but I won't go there. But he hit me so hard and then stood over me, flexing. But I tell you what, I was going to get his ass back sometimes that night. I can tell you that.
Well, I was gonna say, you know, compared to today's game, I mean, do you dislike that? I mean, you got guys going to each other's, you know, weddings and stuff. They're hanging out, they're working out together during the off season. Do you dislike that about today's NBA?
No, I mean, this is what it is. You know what? As long as it doesn't translate on the court where you're playing brother-in-law ball, you know, if he comes in there, I mean, you ain't gonna hit your friend, then I'm gonna hit your friend, and then I'm gonna hit your ass in practice the next day. Because I remember, and I ain't saying no names.
Say a name, motherfucker.
Yeah, give me one.
So I'm telling, you know, we playing Chicago, Brad. We playing Chicago, and I'm with Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I'm up here, you know, we playing them the next round after I left Detroit. And I'm like, all right, we're playing Chicago. And we beat them 4-1 during the regular season. That's when we won the division. And I told Barkley, I said, all right, next thing, you gotta hit Michael Jordan. No, that's my friend. Brad, you know I went like this. Brad, I went like this. Huh? That's mother. I want a friend up for 48 minutes, and every time Charles ain't him up, we lost in the playoffs twice. And I'm sitting there going like, and then Charles gets to the finals with Philly. I mean, not with Philly, with Phoenix.
Uh-huh.
And they play Chicago. And I said, you know, and now they don't talk. So it's like, you know what? You should have hit that mother.
Yeah.
If these are your real friends, look, I'll hit Brad. I'll hit Lambeer. I'll hit Jeff Rulin. But we're gonna go have some fun after. This is nothing. Don't take shit personal. This is what we do for a living. I don't like all that buddy shit. I ain't helping you up. I'd probably kick the shit out of you if I could.
Here's one of the things that happened to you, and I'd like for you to tell the fans a little bit about it. Getting traded in the middle of the season. Different when you get traded during the off season, but in the middle of the season, it's a little bit more upsetting, or is it just dramatic? What would you say?
It depends. So like if it was blind, I definitely would have been a little bit more like what the heck, like more frustrated, stuff like that. The benefit is that like me and Nico have a good relationship, and we were able to communicate. He's a very honest GM, or tries to be, with anything that's potentially like possible. And I remember I was communicating through the whole process because I had an idea, and I remember I knew it was gonna happen. So like it was more difficult, more so when you get there and like trying to adapt, figure out where to live. Like that's something that people don't understand, because like I was in a hotel for 3.5 months. So like living out of the bags, I never went back to Dallas. So like I had to have my mom or friends or family kind of go back and like ship bags, or like whether it was like fly out with them, be like, hey, I need some clothes to wear, because otherwise you're just kind of you're living out of bags for the next.
But you know, look, it had to be a lot easier going to Charlotte though. I mean, a lot easier because of,
that's your home. Yeah.
Yes and no, man. Not everyone wants to go home.
But say you want. Why did you never come back and play it? Or why did you come back and play in Charlotte, Max?
I was done by then, bro. I didn't have nothing to give. I was my.
You wasn't trying to do that, Max.
I was done playing.
No. You could have had 3 more years. Say you had 3 more.
Yeah, let's say
years,
hypothetically, right?
And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna play in Charlotte.
I would have loved Charlotte. I would love
at 25 when you were playing, trying to be develop your career.
Probably not.
Okay, but
he want me to keep it on the 100. Probably
keep it on 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Something I will say that surprised me was that how much I would love it. I got here at first, I was kind of nervous because I was like, I'm going to be surrounded by all these people I grew up with. And as much as they love and care, but you're always going to get called, you're going to get hit up, and you're going to have to balance stuff like that. But it's something special about playing for your hometown team, and also special with if your hometown team is trying to build something and you can be a part of it. That's something that I think I'm taking pride in because I remember I grew up with the Hornets. I grew up with the Bobcats. And the fact is we haven't had the success that necessarily a franchise would want in this NBA and the league. So if you're a part of that team, or if you're a part of that group that can hopefully spur those next 30, 20, 30, 50 years, I would love to be a part of that and lay the foundation and set it for the future. And
was Jordan, let me ask you this, was Jordan around at all? Or was he hands-on? Was he out of there by the time you got there?
He's still a minority owner. He shot me a text just because I'm a Jordan athlete and also because I knew him before. So I was thankful that, he reached out to me and was like, excited to have him, blah, blah, blah. But I think he's a little more hands-off now. Rick Schnall and Gabe Plotkin are the governors, and they're incredible. They want to.
I'm going to tell your mom, if you ever use that blah, blah, blah again talking, she's going to be in your ass, okay? Grant, that is not how you communicate. That'd be like you. You're a communicator. I've seen you before on air, and it's just funny when you think about how you play and what you do, man. I love it, but for you to communicate like that, that's kind of crazy to me.
That's true. I was about to say, I just didn't want to, I don't remember the whole text word for word, so I just don't want to say misquote what he said. But what I will say is that the new ownership really cares, wants to invest in the franchise, both from a investment in terms of the facilities, but also really want to make it an organization that can compete with these historic and competitive teams that have been over the course of these past 15, 20 years in the NBA. So I'm excited for the potential here and the growth here, because not only does the ownership want really to happen, but I think the city does. And I think that as we continue to grow, there's something that we can make really special and make happen. And I think that's going to be sooner than people think.
What was coming back to TD Garden like? Because like you said, well, I don't know if I think we talked about it before we started recording, but you still keep in contact with a lot of your former teammates, first time going into the visitor locker room. And second part of my question is, were you surprised by the tribute video, or the length of it rather? Just the whole experience. What was it like?
Well, I didn't get a tribute video. I was like, dang. I was like, I don't get no
exactly.
See, that was the controversy. I mean, after the fact, we didn't even know if we should actually call it a tribute video or a salute video, because Max and I, we've been going to these games for years and years. I've never seen it done like that.
I was expecting them to show those threes you knocked down in the corner.
Game 7.
Everybody like, what's this Grant thing? Hey Grant, thanks for coming. And
I think I always try to play devil's advocate or look from the other side, but I think it's because when Rob told them he wanted just to salute, thank you and stuff like that, because they gave Smart the video. And I got to respect it. Smart was there for 8 years and was a true impact on the city and organization and everything else. And as much as I, was involved in the community and loved Boston and the organization, I think they just were trying to be consistent with what they had done prior. But was I a little bit disappointed? Yeah, just because I feel like there were some great years in those 4 years that I was there. I was a kid that got drafted there, and I was a kid that grew up there and was able to, hopefully go through a lot of things that help them get to the point where they are now. But I was thankful just because, even if it's a little dedication, no matter how small, you got to have some gratitude, because they could have just not done anything. So Even though it was just a thank you grant, that's something that can be standard across the league, but it definitely kind of surprised me. Normally, knowing Twist and all the guys that are there, I would assume that they would have wanted to, but my guess is whether it was organizationally or something, they were just trying to be respectful of the people that just came, whether it was Malcolm or Rob.
Yeah, no question. It was good to see you back, man, because obviously when you switch teams, it kind of pushed things back, and I just know the fans were excited. I saw a handful of your jerseys in the crowd, and it's always cool because that's sort of the Celtics tradition, Celtics culture. Like, people will remember you forever, and especially when you come up big in the playoffs, that huge Game 7 performance, and of course the team that went to the finals, and like you said, a team that drafted you and you started your career here. So.
Yeah, and then in regards to coming back as a visitor, yeah, it was definitely weird. Just because I was like, oh yeah, I remember walking this tunnel, riding that bus backwards up the tunnel. You're like, yeah. I love this. And then walking into the visitor side, it's really, really nice. I've never been over there, but it was pretty nice. But I remember I didn't go on the court before the game, but I remember coming out and there was nothing but love, in the arena, people saying, come back, we'll want you back, and stuff like that. And they were like, you be the next Al, we trade you, and then you come back 2 years later. And it was just, or Tice. I remember they said, we'll have Tice back for a third time.
Yeah, Tice is the same. That's right.
So,
yeah.
It felt refreshing, because, when you're playing there, you're going to have the mixed bag emotion no matter where you're playing. But the fact is, the true fans, the ones that show up every single night, that are supportive of the team, it felt cool to be able to come back, see the jerseys, see the love that was being poured. And it feels cool to be able to say that, you made an impact someplace, no matter if it was small or large.
Well, Dad, we want to thank you for coming on with us, man. And, just giving you some that I'm pissed off that it's 86 degrees right now in Charlotte, and me and Josue are dealing in the 50s here.
But nothing about spring. I mean, we got clear skies every now and then, but the weather, man, Grant's not it, man. It's the classic. You can wear a sweater, but you're going to be hot during the day, but at night you're going to need that sweater again.
I've retired my Canada Goose, and
see, you don't need that anymore.
Listen, y'all have fun because I am sitting pretty 90-degree weather, golfing in the morning, even during the winters. You might get a little cold, put a jacket on, but I got a chance to be able to say the only thing that I could say that Boston doesn't have that we have down here is the pollen and all that stuff. The allergies, seasonal allergies. But other than that, y'all have it. Y'all have fun. I can see the sun in November. Y'all can have the gloomy skies all you want. I'm gonna be smiling.
Thank you, Grant.
Hold on, Grant.
Watch this, Josue. Watch this. Blah 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 blah.
I want a prediction. How's this playoff going to end? Real quick. It's been a crazy first round.
Can I put contingencies?
Yeah, I mean, you whatever you want to. Keep it
100, man. You're going to offend us.
So I will have Celtics, and so it's either going to be Celtics Nuggets, and I think that if the Celtics play the Nuggets win by it's a 7-game series or 6-game series, and the Nuggets find a way to win. If the Nuggets lose to the Timberwolves, I have the Mavs going to the finals, Celtics Mavs, and I have Celtics beating the Mavs in probably 6 games.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
But I think that's all contingent on if the Minnesota beats Denver. Because if Minnesota beats Denver, I think Denver's the hardest team for the Celtics to match up against, and just because Jokic is that special of a player and his ability to play and get guys involved.
Oh, is that why you wore that Batman thing that time? The Batman suit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
When you stopped Jokic that time, and he came back in here and rained.
Oh, listen. Ever since that day, Max. Ever since that day, anytime I play the Nuggets, he been on my ass.
He remembered. That's why he remembered
on my ass. Listen, I love it. I love competing.
Oh man!
Before we go, one last question I want to ask. Watching Anthony grow, Anthony Edwards. Is he that dude now? Is he that one?
I think that he is still going to continue to grow, but he's that motherfucker. He's that motherfucker. He's a guy that you can look at where you're if they keep that team together, he's a threat year over year. But it's a matter of do they have it this year? Because adding that gauntlet to the West, just because you're the man this year doesn't mean that John that might come in next year. Doesn't mean that Luka and them aren't going to improve. It's gonna be interesting to see who takes that mantle of that guy, because I think it's between JT, Luka, and Ant. Because Giannis and those guys are towards their like prime and stuff like that. They'll be towards KD's time versus these guys, young guys. And then eventually after that, it's going to be Chet and Wemby and whoever else comes, Cooper, if he's that good.
You better not leave Shea out of there. You better not leave.
So this is what I'll say about Shea.
Shea's
He'll always be the underappreciated assassin. Wow. He'll be that guy. He'll be that guy that they're going to be like, he's going to be top 5 in the conversation and stuff like that. But like, they'll never give him the love. But I think that he's going to be that underrated assassin that's going to like always be a person that you're like, you know what, he deserves more credit. He deserves more credit. But people, he's in OKC. They're not talking about him as much as they probably should. But he's that underrated assassin that you're like, he might be in that James conversation where they're like, he's the best guard in the league. They might not say he's the best.
Mark, got to ask you, I know everybody's always said that they thought the Celtics were going to be in the finals. Did you see them being in the finals?
Yes. No question. Combination of things. One, I thought they were the best team. Two, the East was just all injury plague, beat up. It's not the Celtics' fault. It is what it is. And, it just kind of puzzles me that Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, like the whole team really doesn't get talked about. I don't really understand this. It's not like this some small market team. That steal by Drew Holiday is one of the greatest steals I've ever seen in the playoffs, man. Absolutely incredible. You guys have this talented team that basically only lost 2 games. I mean, it should be something that's talked about and commended. And I felt like the game 4, when they swept the Pacers, was a real gut check game. And they made the shots when they needed to make the shots. They punched when they needed to punch. And I'm more of a rest versus rust guy. I think those days off are important. To me, like healthy teams typically end up winning in the end. Now the Mavs finally got some rest that they needed. Luka definitely needs this rest right now. But the Celtics are who I thought they were. I never wavered in my opinion of them. In fact, one of Drew Holiday's uncles, I told him from the beginning, I was like, the Celtics are going to be in the finals. They're the best team. They're healthy for them. Well, actually, Porzingis got hurt, but at the time they're healthy. Said, and the East is going to make it easy for them. And I feel like those kind of teams that have the talent, the luck, and the health typically win. So I still haven't officially made my pick yet, but keep leaning over to the green side. And that's not because I'm on here with you guys.
Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets at Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CLNS and get $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
I just feel like everyone is so eager to give the crown to the team that's up next, right? Whether it was the Minnesota Timberwolves, whether it's the Dallas Mavericks, everyone the national media wants to give those teams the benefit of the doubt. And I get that, but like you said, Mark, like when you have a team like this that's been dominating, that's putting together some like performances that pretty much went against what everyone was questioning this team in the sense of late game execution. Are they going to be able to do the right things at the right time and all that stuff? And I feel like they spelled all those concerns with those back-to-back wins against the Pacers. But everyone's going to talk about how shorthanded these teams are. But it's like, but look at the dominance, though. And I feel like, like you said, it's just not being talked about enough. Why do you think that's the case?
That's a good question, man. I don't know why y'all being hated on.
Is it because they went to the Eastern Conference Finals so many times? Like, I don't get it, but this is a different team, and
then it's like it's funny, like I asked Carmelo Anthony 2 weeks ago, like, who do you see as the best young players in the league right now? And I'm glad he mentioned Jason Tatum. Like, it's like the new guard that's coming in, the young guard. Like, Jason is still part of that young guard. Jason, I wonder if, since he makes it look so easy, do people feel like he's kind of like Durant in that way, right? Like, they just make the game look so easy that people like overlook them. Like, how does he not get MVP votes? His team had the best record in the league. I don't know. I don't vote no more, and we could have that discussion another day. Why? But to me, when I did vote, I put a heavy emphasis on winning. And if your team dramatically has the best record in the league, you should be in the MVP conversation. I don't understand why he's not. I don't understand why we're not talking about the two Jays as top duo in the league. But you know what ultimately changes all that? Getting that trophy, man. You get that trophy, and then all the kudos and love come to you. And this is something that said knows. Like, they got to get this trophy, man. They got to be in the fabric of Celtic lore. And this club, that club, Ced's in the club, it's a hard club to get into. I don't care what your numbers are. If you don't win a championship, you're not in that club. You know, Jason and Jalen, they get that trophy. Celtics like see them as a different legend.
Yeah.
Right. They're viewed at in a different way. I understand that because I would cover the team. I love the history being around it, the pride being around it. But they got to get over this hump, man. You know, all these Eastern Conference finals. This is the second NBA Finals trip. To me, like, they need this bad. They need to get over this hump for their legacy in that town.
Yeah, they can't be Celtics can't be Buffalo. They can't be Buffalo Bills. You know, get into the Super Bowl all the time and not winning. And I peered in and pulled the curtain back and during the celebration, I came up to Tatum and we manned it up, man hug out, and he whispered in my ear. He said, "Man, I'm gonna get you one. I'm gonna get one for you this year." And I looked at him. I'm like, "No, dude, I already got you. You get you one."
Hey, you should just say, "Hey, whatever, however way motivates you."
Right.
More important,
whatever it takes.
It's more important because the national narrative has been that these guys are chokers. The national narrative has been they didn't have anybody to play. The last time I checked on any of my rings, they don't put like who you had to play. Just put, did you win that year? And were you better than that next team?
But that don't even matter because they're good.
Yeah, they
right.
are.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I think they are. They're the pretty girl that you can't go out with, and everybody hates on her anyway. It's like, damn, I hope she don't get a date to the prom, and nobody asked her. But yeah, if they were to get over this bubble, get through this, burst this bubble, I think they got an opportunity to win a couple of championships here over the next couple of years because Brad Stevens has done a tremendous job of putting this talent together. I mean, and you look at it, the next step you're going to say, when you win it this year, you're going to get those veteran players, some more veteran players who want to come and say, well, let me get on this bandwagon and let me just try to get it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Shaq come out of retirement just to be on with the Celtics for one more so he can get another ring real quick. But I'm here. I got you, Kobe. I got you. I got to hit you with one of these before you go, man. We so appreciate you being on, but I have got to got to have your opinion about Cat Williams. And just, man, he done threw shade.
That was like the second day of the year too. Remember? That was the beginning.
I want to get it real from you, who knows the industry but knows all these other people, and what he said. That is just, it's been dog eat dog right now. So just tell me a little bit about that, how you feel, because I love to hear your opinion about Cat Williams and the controversy that he's kind of stirred.
Number one, people say a lot of different things. I'm not a firm believer, like, all news is good news. You hear people like, you know what, news, any publicity is publicity.
You know, if you bark at somebody, people know that means at least they know instead. I'm a firm believer that that's not always true. You got people that don't like each other. That's just the way life is. Well, you gonna tell me about somebody else? What that got to do with me? Ain't none of my business. You know, I think we as rappers seen comedians always in the area, rappers in the area. We try to get people out of the making beef real. Like, I mean, Tupac was like a nephew to me, you know what I'm saying? So, younger bro, that thing escalated because what it did is sold newspapers, magazines, records, media attention, and we see it culminate in tragedy that they still ain't been able to get out of. My good friend Jam Master Jay, who's the closest thing to a union leader you ever want to see, killed. You know, a lot of rappers got killed in cases that they never ever discussed. So we try to get far away from saying that had anything to do with the arts and something real. Comedians always seem to travel together, joke together, laugh together, and then when Spike Lee did the movie with the Four Kings of Comedy, that just took it to another level. Right. And a lot of people are like, damn, man, well, why is it hard for a rapper to travel? Yeah, well, you got to have this, that, and the other. You got a backdrop. You know, you got set, you got speakers, you got musicians, you got DJs, you got all that. All the comedian needs a glass of water, man. Speaker, mic, glass of water, and a stage. And a promoter look at that, it's like, I ain't got no overhead. And comedians kept rising and rising. Matter of fact, people like said, damn, should I be a rapper or should I be a comedian? And a lot of people took that comedian route and saw that so many places to play, especially during sad times, you know? And they all exploded. Now, who exploded for whatever reason, that became a league of its own. And a lot of people been looking at each other for the last 20, 25 years, and people don't even know it. Man, I've been traveling with him. I remember them back in the day. So they got something that all of a sudden fruited to the front of mainstream culture when 25 years ago, it'd be like, yeah, you know, black dude doing comedy, man. It was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like mainstream culture across a couple new generations getting in. Remember this. The businesses, whether they promoters, marketers, branders, or whatever, and we say branders because branding wasn't always a great thing for black folk in America. I mean, the minute we got off the boat, they took that iron and brand, you know what I'm saying? And we got what? We tatted with a kilo, you know what I'm saying? A keloid brand on us. So they always want to be able to get somebody green. You know what green means, Josue? Not Celtics green.
Yeah, I mean, like because something that appeases everybody. Audiences.
Green is getting somebody who's young, naive, dumb, full of whatever.
Got you.
Like I see you coming. I could get you. Matter of fact, I know more about you than you know of yourself. And if you under 25, and really if you're the typical, then you you know nothing and you got less. And when you get something, I'm gonna get it from you. So the powers and the corporations and the businesses that be, you always got that in the mind. We're gonna get new generations because they green. They don't know it all, and they don't even know they know it. They don't know it all, and we're gonna get them. And once we get them, we're like, gotcha.
You know, that's a New York in you because New
York
real. Is always
looking at
the boys. And first thing is, hey, yo, Green, come here a minute. Let me talk to you. The hustle that you had on, that was like, because that in one of Stevie Wonder's songs, where the guy, you know, he comes there to New York City, big, beautiful, and then somebody says, give him a bag and say, yo, man, run this cross the street from me. And the guy said, what? And then next thing you know, police grab him, take him on, and he said, no, man, I didn't do anything. But that New York culture, man.
New York culture, keep it moving. That's why politically, on what 45, I don't even say his name, President number 45.
Yeah,
he done game the country. The rest of the world's hip to this dude. But he done game the country, and it's so crazy. He game the middle of the country. And not saying that the old dude is better, but this dude, I mean, I've been looking at that 45 before he was 45. Like, he a celebrity. He ain't fit to be president. He a celebrity. Right. I've been seeing this dude since the mid-70s, man. Yeah. You know, but he
wanted to start a network, and then it just snowballed into a campaign. That was crazy.
He using old New York game on and he'll tell you too. I'm gonna go into the backwoods of the United States and meet with the people, like he give a damn. But anyway, that's another statement. Another point
that's
is
for the next episode.
Before I end this, another impressionable person on me. And this is Stevie Wonder, right?
That's my guy.
Every time I come in Stevie Wonder's cipher in his area, I can't say shit. This is for years. I don't know what to fucking say to Stevie. And Stevie can see and hear everything. And say, hey, Stevie said, come over. And I go over and I'm staring at him and shit. I never could get, I don't know why, I'm telling you, listen, Max, this is for years. This is the 80s.
Yeah, that's
the
Max's
90s.
show right there. That's his favorite.
80s, 90s, 2000s, and he'll say, hey, Chuck, sing Fight the Power. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't. He must be like, man, this dude, man. He's like, he don't never say nothing. I'm like, I don't know where to start, bro. I've been hearing this dude, man, since I was 3 years old in the crib, tearing my crib up every time fingertips come on. Ever since, yeah. So he's a favorite since I was 3 years old. Uptight, everything all right. I was made to love you, thank you for all that stuff, inner visions and all that. King Duke and all that. Yo, Sir Duke, this is my secret area. In all my conversations with Stevie Wonder throughout 40 years, I ain't said shit. I don't know where to start, bro. I don't even know where to start.
We're going to get this to Stevie Wonder somehow.
You're going to have to figure this out for real.
I don't know where to begin. How do you start with like Stevie? Huh?
I asked you earlier, I said, who are you in awe of?
This is it. This is it right here.
Yeah, same thing with Smokey Robinson. I just sat across the table with Smokey. I ain't say shit. I'm like, where do I start, man? Where
Max, what would you say?
Where to start.
What would you say to Stevie? See, you don't even know.
No.
You don't even know.
I'm just like Chuck D. I would say we grew up with his songs. My Sharia Moore, I was in love with a girl in the 8th grade. And I used to play the song as loud as that could possibly be. And I swore that I was this song was gonna take me to this girl and she was gonna be forever mine. So I know what he's talking about with Stevie, when he's talking about Sir Duke, or when he's talking about, keys to of life.
Of life. That's your favorite album.
All these things he had on. The one guy, Chuck, I wish I had met after I ended up seeing this movie was I wish I had met Ray Charles. Because Ray Charles just seemed like he was so, and I remember I had a couple of times to go see Ray Charles. I was like, I don't want to see. But after I ended up seeing the movie of Ray Charles, I was fascinated with his music and everything else. I heard bits and pieces of it, but when I saw all the things that that were done by him, and that movie was a great movie.
Man.
It was just one of those things that
Jamie Foxx crushed that role.
Foxx did such a magnificent job.
Incredible job, yeah.
Then I look at another guy, a New Yorker. When you look at Denzel, another guy. Do you say shit around Denzel?
Man, you better not talk. People better not say nothing against Denzel. Denzel is protected, man, by culture and the gods, man. I tell you, listen, when the LA Rebellion went down in '92, Denzel was out there with a shovel. Denzel Washington was out there with the shovel in the community, man, shoveling. Hey, that dude is just he's just something else, man. You know, so it's so many people. I mean, back in the day, right? And I don't mean to go over, but you know, you could chop this up or whatever. Yo, Dr. J, me and my boys would come from the park. We go up they had a Church's Fried Chicken in Roosevelt, and he had came back to see one of his old mentors and coaches. And him and his mentor and coach was sitting right. It was just us in Churches. So me and my two boys is like, we talking about Doc is like in the next thing, right? This is 1978. We like, so what the fuck are we really talking about, man? We just go, hey, Doc, how's that thigh, man? You know?
What's your favorite piece, Ray?
Doc, did you get yours crispy or hot sauce? Yeah, I understand when you talk about people who are famous like that.
It's
like
all Max. It's all right to be a fan.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. A lot of times.
It's all right to be a fan, but not when you're playing against a fucking guy.
Of course not.
That was wild, Max. I never heard that story, Max.
Man.
You playing against this guy, and you got to go heads up, and then you're looking like, oh shit, this is damn Doc I'm guarding, and like and your boys looking at you. You know, after you get through playing, you always come home, and your boys go, yo man, what the fuck was that you did with Doc? I was like, man, I was like you, Chuck. I couldn't touch.
But then later on, but how much did ML Carr egg you on to just be?
ML was bomber. He was a circus promoter. ML got a lot of guys, hyped up, man, because that was my guy, man. He was from North Carolina. We were kind of country boys together, but he was the one that actually made Kevin McHale jump on Rams, because they were talking about it. He said, man, ain't gonna have no more fast break. There'll be no more fast break. No more. And the next thing you know, Kevin gets in the game and
boom!
He just boom, grabs him around the neck. And Kevin is the scariest dude of all. I would have never picked him to be that dude to grab somebody, but he was hyped up by the hype man ML Carr at that time, so it was crazy.
Wow, all right, man, that's gonna do it for this episode, man. Sorry, man, I gotta get back. I'm still in the arena, but no, man, this is incredible, man. Thank you for coming on, Chuck D. Man, we definitely have to get you back on here for sure, man.
Yeah, man. Celtics gonna be 16-2 as a Knicks fan. Like I said, I gotta shout out my guys, CP the franchise. We're over there, Knicks off season, on season. I'm in the mosh pit, man, over there on Knicks Fan TV, and he's also got the NBA report, so it's all part of this middle media sensation. But like I said, I've been by default. I've been hearing Celtics broadcast on Sirius XM, and Max, man, you remind me also of Don Meredith. At the end of the game, when the end of that game is over, Don Meredith will go into a saying or into a song, and you be like, wow, how did he come up with that? Party's over. That's my dad used to sing that all the time. My dad be like watching the game, all of a sudden he'd sing going, turn out the lights, the party. You remind me so much of Daddy Don at the end, especially the fourth quarter, man.
All right. Thank you, my brother. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Thank you.